Welcome to the Mastering Ecommerce Marketing podcast. I'm your host, Eitan Koter, co-CEO of Vimy. In an era of rising acquisition costs and increased competition, this podcast is dedicated to helping you drive sales, engage customers, and build meaningful communities so you can turn passive visitors into active buyers. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on future content. Now let's get started with the episode. Hello listeners and welcome to another episode of Mastering Ecommerce Marketing. I'm your host, Eitan Koter. Joining me today is Chris Anderson, CEO and founder of Elevate Media Group and the host of the Elevate Media podcast. Chris, how are you? Welcome.
I'm doing great, and thanks so much for having me on today.
So Chris, you're running a video production agency. What drives you to video? Why you're so excited about the topic?
Yeah, I just, growing up always was into photo, video, creating videos on PowerPoint with little animations. So always kind of intrigued me, just the storytelling and the creativity that comes with it. And now where we are in society with social media and everything being online, and now with AI coming in, video just kind of fit naturally. I started my video podcast, 2019. And it just kept growing from there. And I saw the benefit. I saw where businesses were falling short, where they were lacking in their marketing and the ability to connect and help more individuals by not doing video. And so I wanted to bridge that gap. I wanted to show people, help people put that out there, get videos out there in their own way so they could grow their business, support their own family, support the workers that work for them, and help more people by getting the word out through video. And it just, because we're so online nowadays, we have to build a connection somehow, right? And then COVID happened, as well. We weren't doing live events, in-person events. And so video is the next best thing, live streams, video podcasts, video content. It's the next best thing for people to actually connect with us.
Sure.
Connect with our brands and to build that know, like, and trust factor. So that's why, in a nutshell.
Okay, Chris. So I know video works, and I guess many brand owners and customer knows that video is very powerful for conversion rates, for increased brand loyalty, building a community. But I guess there are a lot of objections that you hear from customers. What are some of the major objections that you usually hear from customers?
Yeah, we hear, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get started. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the money to, invest in somebody or a team like Elevate to come out here. I don't know what works on social media. Things like that are some of the big ones we hear.
Yeah, because it's more, it seems like a very complex and expensive type of marketing or media they need to create, right? But I guess that TikTok taught us that, those short form or 10-thing videos are very, very powerful these days, right?
Yeah, and that's what we try to teach those that we communicate with is you can just start with this right here. I'm showing my phone. And that's a great way to start for having content creators on your team or even yourself if you're, a solopreneur. Just use your phone. Like, we're a video agency. We make money off helping people get their brand out there through professional video, but we want you to get video out there at any cost. And to start is through your phone. And that organic native video does really well. And as a CEO, as a head of a company, like showing those videos of yourself, like in that format, obviously there's little things you can do to make it look professional and good, but seeing those videos are going to help people, feel like they know you. They're going to feel like, oh, that's a person, and so just starting with that, we always tell just start putting some out there, let people know about your brand, what it is you do, what you offer. And then we can come in and we can do the professional videos that, fit your website, fit your ads, fit, on TV ads, on social media, get a little bit higher quality and mix it in once you're ready. But you just got to start, and it doesn't have to be such a big, gap to bridge starting on your own with your phone.
Yeah. Maybe just probably give us an overview about types of video and what kind of videos you usually produce and, for customers.
Yeah, so, we use the term talking heads a lot, and that's things where you'll see, like clips from podcasts. You'll see people talking on the screen, or someone just in general talking on camera. Those are big ones when you're trying to get out information or explain educational things or things like that. There's promo videos, which highlight your product or service, kind of like a mini ad. It can be vertical or horizontal based on the platform you need. Then you have what we call B-roll clips. So it's just, clips of your team, of your product, of your service with no real crazy edits or anything like that you can use on social media with their native tools, I guess you could say, with the music, with the things, text you can put on screen. So it just kind of is in the background to grab attention. And again, you can do that with your phone to start, is just putting something out there. And then we have a brand story videos, which is, tells the story of your brand. It's a little bit, it's a higher quality, higher professionalism type video that explains like who you are, what you're about. Think of it as like a commercial for your company that brings you authority, brings you professionalism when people watch it. Kind of that flagship video that can be sent out if you're looking for, sponsors, if you're looking for new clients, if you're looking for, partners or whatever it might be. Those are some of the big ones. And then, depending on your brand or service, hype videos. So something really high energy. We did one for a fireworks company, and, just showing what they did and showing the outcome so they could present it to, other events and venues to get more business. So those are just a few that you can put out there. Obviously, the talking head, you see a lot of those on shorts, YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, things like that. So,
yes. What are some of the key benefits that you've seen for businesses using video in the right way?
Yeah, when you use it the right way, it definitely solidifies your authority in the market. We all judge. We all have biases. We all judge when we see things. It's just kind of innate. And so when you see a well-polished professional video, you look at the company a little bit different. Like, okay, they're a little more solidified. They're a little bit more farther along. I can trust them because, they're going to produce or do what they say they're going to do. And then with the other videos, like the talking head, the native ones, again, it builds that trust factor with, your market, the people you're trying to serve and help. Because the more they see of you, the more they see of your brand and understand it, the more likely they will eventually become buyers of it. So that's a big thing. Position yourself as an authority, shows your professionalism, and just continues to get in front of the eyes of your market to create more leads, which turn into more clients through that value.
Yeah, those are like real measurable KPIs, right? Like number of leads, conversions.
Sure. Yep.
Obviously, trust factor and building the relationship or more holistic kind of benefits, right? But I guess people want to buy from people they know, right? So those videos are very just accelerating the warm up, building up relationship phase, and they're very very they're very very important. And obviously, there are like new ways today, like those 30 seconds videos are very, very powerful, but also the right form. I mean, we see like growth of videos like across the board, right? So, what trends do you see in the video content, market right now in terms of probably the video marketing activities? How do you see the budget is allocated toward video and some of the major trends that you see right now in the industry?
Yeah, it's starting to, from our perspective, shift a little bit. People are realizing the need to be seen online, and some even are starting to see the importance even more of having professional like videos done for their courses, for their trainings, so they can extend their reach globally instead of just in their local areas, and that opens the door to be able to do that. And so the video is going to continue to be an asset that people have to lean into. Talking heads, live stream, where it's actually us on screen talking, is going to continue to grow because with AI coming in, we're going to see more AI avatars that look human, that are, created through artificial intelligence, same with the voice. And they're going to be used. And that's a great tool and it's a great asset to be able to use, but it's not the real people. And so a lot of people are going to be leaning into the AI created video content, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's going to separate if people are actually doing real human interaction on video and live streams, especially, I see being a bigger piece. Those ones who are doing actual people on screen from the company in places of power, of authority in the business, are going to have more growth with as far as clients, because of that transparency and that realness with it, versus where everything being AI for now, at least for probably a decade or so. AI is just, you're going to know it's AI until the trust isn't going to be there as much.
Yes.
So those are some trends I see for sure.
I guess for some of the use cases, AI avatars might work, right? Probably.
Yeah. I mean, you hear the faceless YouTube or social media profiles that do really well on social media, and that's great. But if you're asking them to buy something high ticket, there's not going to be as much trust from someone to be like, yeah, I'm going to buy from this robot speaking on screen. It's great to get views. It's great to get a lot of followers because you can pump out so much with AI. So if you're going to do a faceless just channel and get paid by social media, great. It's a great thing. But if you're building a business, an actual, entrepreneurial venture, we have to have some sort of person-to-person connection, even if it's like us talking like this right now.
Yes.
So
yes, for sure. So you mentioned founders content or founder-led content. Yeah. Obviously, you can hire creators, content creators, or influencers. Where do you see the best use of each one of those, hosts or actors, that are involved in the video creation process? Maybe it relates to different stages on the marketing funnel, or how do you see the use of these type of actors or hosts in a video?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to see more and more of the C-suite level authority positions being on camera. I mean, you think it doesn't surpass. I mean, now here recording this, U.S., we just had an election. How much Donald Trump, how much Kamala was on social media. Like, they had a team creating content around him. And now, they're running for president, and they're on social media pushing, quote unquote, their brand. That's kind of the thing. You see Elon Musk, you see Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk specifically, like, pushing out content, videos, being on podcasts, and he runs Tesla. So, like, if he can do it, and is doing it, there's a purpose for it, and he's all about AI and robotics too. So, like, we're gonna have to see more of that from our leaders in companies, in organizations. Again, to build that transparency, to build that trust. I think live streams are going to become a bigger thing, connected with like video podcasts for companies, almost like a mini show for these corporations, these businesses. Because in real time, live stream episodes, shows, there is no edits. If they're truly live streaming, obviously you can pre-record and push them live. But live stream shows, I mean, it is what it is. Things go wrong. People are going to see, wow, they're human too. Like they have quirks. They're normal. They say a lot, just like I do, kind of thing. So, and the interaction there live and I love lives. I love going live. I love live streams just because of the interaction you can have with those participating in it. I think we're going to start seeing more of that. We should see more of that, just because, again, we have to build a connection more and more with there being so much noise in the markets.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating. I mean, going live, and it's you mentioned the founder-led content, right? I mean, it's kind of probably should be another item in the job description of CXOs, right? And founders. Yeah. So, hey, you need to create content, and employee-generated content is, again, very, very powerful. Yeah. It's really authentic, and definitely in live, these people can, respond to questions that are coming from chat or whatever. They're for real, not something that you pay for, and then starting using all the different and and it's just people it's so easy to swipe up and that's it, right? And the event just finishes. So obviously video, there's a lot various steps involved in the process, right? So there you have the scripting and the timeline, and a lot of how the process works, and how your teams is built up. How do you approach this type of projects?
Yeah, this is a fun conversation to have, because most people don't realize how much goes into creating professional high quality videos. And so they see the price tag and they're like, oh my gosh, like I could do that with my phone. And it's like, well, like, let's talk about this, because you could make a video with your phone. It's not going to be as good. And, that's okay if you don't have the budget, but the process, we have so much pre-planning, the pre-production phase, we call it, to make sure we understand, your brand's message, the wanted outcome of the video. Like, are we pushing someone to buy? Are we pushing someone to just connect to the brand more? So we have to find that outcome. We have to understand your brand's voice. We have to understand your brand's, all your branding, messaging, and kit, like your colors, your feel. Like, we're not going to go to, try to think, a fitness brand that's geared towards men. That's, very like hardcore, like one more, they quote one more, do one more rep, Ed Milet's thing, one more, and very, just, yeah, let's go. We're not going to create a video that's all light music, flowery, like it wouldn't fit his brand unless there's a specific purpose to like creativity or something. But like, so we have to really dial in the pre-production phase to understand all of that. So we work really closely with the brands, their teams, so we can lay all that out, start storyboarding the video. So what it's going to look like, our ideas for it, scripting, because we want to make sure we have the right pace. We want to make sure if there's any keywords within their SEO optimization already on their websites, on their YouTube channels, things like that, we want to incorporate those in the scripts, whether that be through the actors or voiceovers we do for the video, because we want it to correlate. We want it to connect and get the best results on those platforms. Things a lot of people don't think about when they're doing videos for other people is now where we are, YouTube online searches the video because it can transcribe, it can make captions. So it knows the words that are being used, and it's gonna connect to the SEO. So we do a lot of pre-production. We have to build out the team. We find the talent if it's needed. We have to location hunt. We have to find the props or locations that we need. Schedule all that. Schedule the team out. Get all the shooting prep ready. Travel if needed. And all those logistics. And then we shoot, the fun part. We schedule out the shoot days. We get all that done, and we bring all the equipment in. It looks like you're on a mini movie sometimes, and that goes quick. and then the post production is another big portion, because there's multiple stages to creating these videos. And I'm gonna not name it all, but you got the color grading, you got the cut out the pieces you don't need, piece it together so it flows right. Color grade, add the transitions if there are any visual effects, all these things in post-production that really bring it to life at the end of the day. So it's a long, lengthy project, which is, why it turns out so good, because we pay attention to those details. And again, that's why we do what we do. There's a place for it. Just use your phone or use what you can with the team you have. But then there's a point that we need professional stuff done. We're going to, like, for example, we had a client, they wanted an ad created because they were going to put it on the local TV channel. Great. So we ran through the whole process. We did it. They got it back, loved it. They put it on the TV channel. The day that it came out on the TV, people were watching. They texted, said, "This is amazing. We're already getting leads from the video."
Wow.
And I was like, that's what we want. That was the goal. That was the point. And just, it just validates, and I love that. I love that because we're helping another small business help people with their services, and their business thrives as well. So, that's the point of it all. And it's a long process. But I'm blessed to have a great team. I don't have the skills at that level. I knew enough to be dangerous when I started the business, but I knew quickly I want to produce good quality products. I know my skill set. I have to build a team to do the rest, to do the very best videos we can for people. So
nice. Let's talk about the podcast.
Sure. Yeah.
Things, and you mentioned video podcasts.
Yep.
What do you mean by video podcasts? What's involved?
Yeah, so I don't think I coined that term, but I've just used it since I started. Basically doing, video recordings of your episodes. So we see it now so much. Like in 2019, I started mine, and now, you see Joe Rogan's, you see Patrick Bet-David's show, and basically you just record video and have the the video recording of the episode. You take the audio and you put it on the podcast as just audio episodes, but you have the videos now for YouTube. So you can have your video show on YouTube to be able to really, take each episode the distance and get the most out of it. And that's why I always push people, if you're going to do a podcast, do a video podcast, because even if you don't use it right away, you still have the videos later if you want to use them or implement them. Sure. But you're missing out if you're just doing audio.
Yeah. So like one scenario is that like we're doing right now, we use Riverside or StreamYard or whatever, Zoom, all these virtual tools, right? That's obviously we capture this on video and on audio. But there's also the setup where you just rent a studio, a professional podcasting studio. Probably you record a few episodes per day, and then you have like you capture the videos, and then you have more assets, right? That's another version of it. And so you work and you support both of these processes. Yeah, we do a lot of video podcast editing for people. We do a couple in-person shoots. So we'll bring all our equipment, set up a studio, batch record, like you mentioned, a handful of episodes in one day, and we can break it all down for them as well. I love doing in-person episodes for my podcast. I've been trying to do more and more. Logistically, sometimes it's hard with people's schedules, so virtually is always okay. But there's just something different about talking to people in person and the energy you feed off of each other. But yeah, I think, 2024 right now, we're recording this video podcast. If you're going to start one, it needs to be video. So you're not missing out on assets that you can use to grow. So yeah, we do a lot of that as well. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about AI and how do you use AI in your processes, and probably how you can recommend brands and founders to use AI to streamline video production.
Yeah, so you definitely use AI. You probably heard of ChatGPT. There are other things like it that can almost like a sounding board, kind of like you have a person right there in the room with you if you have ideas or questions, or you're trying to build out things. And we use it as like a very initial starting point for things. So if we have, for example, if we have information on a brand, we can input like all that information and say, okay, ChatGPT, this is a video idea. This is what we're doing. Can you help us script this out? So they'll spit back some scripts, some shot ideas, and then the team can go through that breakdown. Like, hey, that doesn't really make sense or doesn't really fit. Let's tweak this. But it saves a lot of time because initially, while they're prepping other things for the shoot, that can be doing that, and then we can sit down and say, okay, this is a great starting point. Let's break it down. Let's cut it up. Let's change it, but it's a great outline. It's a great starting point. Same for content. If you're trying to do content on your own with your phone, like you can go there and say, I need 30 ideas for content about this niche, hitting on these 3 type pillars, so make some entertaining, make some educational, make some value filled. Give me a hook, give me a script, and give me a call to action at the end for each, and it'll bust out all those, and you'll get better at feeding it instructions as you do it, and it learns. That's the crazy thing about the AI is it's self-learning. So everything we put in, it's constantly getting better and learning, which is crazy as well. Thinking about the future with that, but yeah, there's a lot you can do to expedite processes, even if it's an email. Like, hey, how do I respond to this email? Like maybe you had a happy client, you don't know how to respond, or maybe a not so happy client. How do I respond? And I always, preference that. Like, take it as an outline, take it as an example, and then make it your own. Make it. How would you actually say this if you were speaking or typing? Because a lot of people, they'll. I need a caption for social media, and for this post, whatever, and they'll get it and they'll just paste it. And you can tell nowadays what comes from ChatGPT on social media and what doesn't. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think making it personal and making it on brand is always good. Sometimes you're just, short on time, so you just post it. But those are great ways to use AI to start, for sure.
Nice. What are some of the mistakes that you see that brands are doing, with video?
Yeah, sometimes a big mistake I see is they're putting out content that doesn't make sense. Like it's almost a waste of time. Like they're not thinking of their market and what their market wants as far as content, and so they're putting out what they like or what they feel comfortable doing. and it just misses the mark. And so that's one of the biggest things, like, is just not understanding what your viewers actually want. And so they're missing the mark there, and then not grabbing attention. And this is hard. We constantly are trying to improve this too, is, how do we hook people in and actually get them to listen to longer, to more of the posts, or even the podcast or the videos on YouTube, like, because attention spans are getting shorter and shorter because it's all swipe. We're in a swipe culture. So like, if you can't grab someone's attention in a second or two, if it doesn't stand out, then you're not going to get the traction. And so it's a constant evolving thing where, okay, how can I stand out? What's going to make people stop scrolling enough? And then how I'm going to get them to keep listening. So it's like hook, pause, hook, pause, hook. Yeah, you have to keep them going. And so that's another big mistake, is not thinking through the content at the end. Sure, you hook them, but do you actually give them the value that they're going to want to keep coming back to your stuff? Or is it just nonsense just to get a view? So those are probably the two biggest things.
Yes. And in our age, what do you think is more important? A very polished, fully edited video, or the content and the value it delivers is more important?
Yeah, definitely the value delivered is more important. There's a place for the polished, absolutely. But like I mentioned earlier, definitely just get started. Like that native phone kind of sort of video, where it looks more kind of less produced, which can be produced that way as well, which is crazy. But they have their places for sure. But yeah, what you're giving out there is more important, because you got a really polished, nice produced video. But like I mentioned, like if we're not doing the legwork and making it match your brand, and the end result not being what you need, then it's a waste. Yes. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And same with if you're creating on your phone. If you're not creating the video with the viewer in mind and giving them what they want, then you're just wasting your time.
Sure.
A lot of time it's quality over quantity. And in this sense, quality being like the message or what the sustenance of the video is over production. But again, there has to be a point where production value increases to show your authority, to show your professionalism, to show, that you're not just someone in the garage, trying to get things running. So
let's talk about this step of the content planning and find the right topics to create videos. How do you research? How do you know?
Yeah, you can, the easiest thing is finding your probably top 5 competitors. I say top 5 competitors or someone else in your market doing what you're doing, who is doing it better than you, and learning and seeing what are they putting out there? What hooks are they using? What is getting people to watch on their videos? And trying and testing some of those for yourself. Obviously, we're not talking about copycatting their exact word for word video, but you can take their hook. Maybe they got a hook that says, the 5 biggest mistakes in video. Okay, that got a lot of views. Okay, what did they talk about? Okay, and then put your own spin on it. Use that hook. Here's the top 5 mistakes in video production, and then give your perspective, what you think the top 5 are. And so that's one big way, is just look at your competition, quote unquote competition. Look at those in your market doing the same thing as you, doing it well, and learn from them. And try to put your own spin on things that are working. And you can search social media for that. You can follow those people and just kind of get ideas. That's just, that's one of the biggest ways, easiest ways you can do it. ChatGPT, again, can give you ideas. Then you can take those ideas that it gives you and validate them through social media. So put those in YouTube, see if that comes up as a high ranked search, with videos that are being viewed a lot. Yeah. So other people in your market who are doing well, ChatGPT would be another one to find good ideas. And then just go ask people in your market. Ask those who you're trying to serve, hey, what are the 5 struggles you're having right now that you're trying to overcome? Because we're just trying to make more content to help people like you. And a lot of people will be like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, it's these things. Like, don't try to sell them on anything. Just say, we're trying to improve what we're doing to help you better. And just ask them, hey, what's the 5 hardest things you've had to overcome doing your thing? What's the 5 biggest successes you've had overcoming, or like biggest moments? Like, and just ask And so those would be the top three. I'd say look at others doing stuff in your market the same, who are doing it better, ChatGPT, and then validate it, cross-reference it with social media and YouTube, and then ask people in your market.
Yeah. Interesting. And for someone who's just starting out, and again, it can be like an existing, established, well-known brand for you want to start creating content, or a new brand or just starting. Is it like the content planning is going to be the same for both of these companies? That is matter if you're just starting your company or just you're already in a mature phase?
It depends on, what you have at your disposal. Do you have a team? Do you have a budget? Because if you have a budget and a team, it's going to look a little bit different. You're going to be able to reach a little bit more on different platforms. If you're just starting out, again, know who your audience is and where are they spending most of their time. Are they on TikTok? Are they on LinkedIn? Where they're meant to be? And don't waste your time trying to post on all the platforms right at the beginning, because it's overwhelming. It's a lot of time to keep up with it. And just start really getting good at really one platform that your audience is on, and just crush it there. And then, as you grow, as your business grows, you have bandwidth to hire a VA or a social media person that can post on other platforms, then you can go ahead and do it, because you want to, with video, do your best to create it for the platform. Yeah. So LinkedIn video, I know LinkedIn now has vertical video, so it's getting a little bit easier, which is great. But, a long form YouTube video is going to look different horizontally and how layout and things like that versus what you do to a vertical clip that you put out there, because of the hooks and keeping people engaged and things like that. So you want to create it for the platform best you can.
Yeah, so this is just again implementing this land and expand type of strategy, right? Just the right platform where your audience, where your personas or ICPs are spending most of their time, and just focus on that as the first phase. For sure. Yeah. Wow, Chris, great. Really interesting. Where people can find you and Elevate Media Group?
Sure. Yeah. You can always search podcasts, Elevate Media Podcasts, wherever you listen to those. Elevate-media-group.com if you want to check out more of what we do with my agency. Or you can, follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram. Instagram is @chris.t.anderson. Would love to have a chat if you have any questions. Feel free to shoot them my way. I love responding to questions. I love answering and helping how I can. So always here. I still answer my DMs, so you'll get me and not a AI or someone else. So feel free. No bots involved, right? No bots involved yet. So okay, amazing, Chris. Thank you so much. It was really interesting. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the end of this episode. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe so you won't miss any of our future content. And if you could share this with just one person, it would make all the difference. Are you looking to accelerate your sales with the power of shoppable video? Explore Vimy, the video commerce platform that includes live shopping, shoppable video, and social commerce capabilities. Visit Vimy at www.vimy.net, that's VIMMI.net, where you can start with a free for life package. We appreciate your support and look forward for bringing you more valuable insights in our next episode.